Claims you will ever see, and what he has done for the Peter Miller Barn has been nothing short of sensational. And at the age of 7, you can make the case that he's better than ever. Those first 2 races of the year at Oaklawn Park, whether it's a Beyer speed figure, a Thorograph, a Ragozin number, by any measure, the fastest 2 races he's ever run in his career. So the year started great. Last time out in the Bing at 6 furlongs, hey, game third, he was a little bit wide, maybe not his A game, but look, at age 7, he's allowed to throw a bad race out there once in a while.
He absolutely is, and it wasn't even that bad. I mean, he only got beat a neck in there. He was charging at the end, and you got to give CZ Rocket a lot of credit. Even when things don't go exactly his way, he almost found a way to win the race. He is just talking about $40,000 claim. That's crazy. He's made $1,400,000 in his career, and he is just such a cool horse. And so is Flagstaff, and so that's a horse that. Is coming off of some rest, Mike, after running in the True North on June the 4th. And I would think that the freshening for him might give him a bit of an edge.
Oh, I made my way back to the Peter Miller Barn, and this is CZ Rocket, the defending champ in the Pat O'Brien. And I've only been here for about the past, 5-10 minutes, and this horse could not be any cooler. Peter Miller. You were talking about the effort in the Grade 1 being Crosby last time out. He felt that the track was speed favoring that day, and he was really up against it coming from off the pace. So that 3rd place finish perhaps better than looked. And I asked him, what is the separator in this race? A very competitive affair. A lot of horses like the 7 for a long distance. He said it is all about the trip. They were mulling over whether or not they would run in the Pat O'Brien. He initially said, we'll enter and take a look. Post position is key. He loves the outside post position for CZ Rocket. So it could land in his hands if he does get, as Pete says, a fair racetrack on Saturday and a clean trip, which he should get from that outside post position. But you guys, he's paying me no mind. I could be, right up in his feed tub and he wouldn't mind me. No, well, maybe he might. No, he definitely has his mind on business, and what a good-looking horse. I mean, obviously, he's got like a beautiful king-style setup here, so he is lifted up a bit, but tall, good-looking horse is 7 years old. I mean, it's just really incredible what he's done. We know he likes it here, but as do many other horses. So, I mean, it's going to come down to, as Peter Miller says, and I'm going to get out of here because horses are trying to make their way around. So, CZ, we'll let you rest up for the race on Saturday. But it's going to come down to who gets that trip. And I spoke with the connections of Ginobili earlier, Richard Baltus, and he's saying, I don't really have any sort of reasoning behind that incredible performance last time out. But, Mike, he's not worried about a bounce factor. He said he's had plenty of time to recoup, though the sheets might say he'll bounce.
He thinks it was the blinkers. He thinks it was the 2 turns. And he said, this horse is finally fully sound. I don't think there was ever anything majorly wrong with him. Just, those little knickknacks that happen to horses along the way. And he couldn't be doing better. They don't like that inside draw. That's the one thing they're worried about with Ginobili. And Larry, it's one of those things. Brittany touched on it. Peter Miller touched on it. This race really does look like there's 4 or 5 horses in there that need a perfect trip to win. So it really does come down to how this race is ridden.
Packed field as far as talent, and Yeah, I mean, obviously an edge, I think, to CZ Rocket having that outside post with his running style, Flagstaff too. Yeah, I think that if you get around there with the best trip and you're one of those leading horses in this race, you probably get the job done.
Suggested. You had a turf race in there that muddied up the form before they went in for 32. They just drew a line through it. And a horse had conditions. As you can see, those last two victories he's coming off of, a non-winners of one and a non-winners of two. So they had all the ingredients for a good claim. They never imagined they'd be in the Pat O'Brien trying to get a spot in the Breeders' Cup when they claimed him. They just thought they were getting a good horse. But he made a point to give credit to Mark Latt. He said, it took Mark really figuring this horse out. He's kind of a lazy workhorse. He doesn't want to get after it in the morning. And Mark said, okay, I can't go to training on him that hard. I have to back off him a little bit. But he saves himself for the races, and he's just gotten better and better. They know they're up against it, Larry, but hey, they're taking a shot. There's no pressure on him. He goes, if CZ Rocket or Flagstaff wins, so be it. They're excellent horses. We know they're monsters. But you know what? We like our horse. And on Thorograph sheets, I know you like to play with the Thorographs as well, Larry. He says he should run through that last number. He paired up zeros. He goes, the way that pattern points is that he should run a new top. If he improves a little bit, boy, he's right there with him.
Certainly is. I mean, even those two zeros he just ran on Thorograph put him right in the mix with those horses. He doesn't have to improve all that much. CZ Rocket's got a couple of negative numbers, and so does Flagstaff. But I think Howbeit really from this horse going against the big boys for the first time, but numbers wise, and the fact that Mark Glatt and Kyle Frey have been having just fantastic meets at Del Mar, I think this horse has a major chance in this race.
So I want to start with you, Brittany. We'll start with your opinion. I know you're a little jaded because you just made friends with CZ Rocket. Is that where the check mark's going to land, or are you looking somewhere else?
Oh, he is such a cool horse. I mean, at 7 years old, what he's still doing is awesome. No, I'm going to go another direction here. Flagstaff for me. He's got a bit of a freshening for trainer John Sadler, and he absolutely loves the 7 furlong distance. They have faced each other before. I think he can turn the tables on CZ Rocket. Don't overlook 8 Rings, though. 8 Rings lost a shoe in the Grade 1 being Crosby and finished second by a neck. I think this horse is back into his best form for trainer Bob Baffert, but I'm going to land on Flagstaff in the Pat O'Brien.
Larry, your turn. Where is your $2 going to go?
$2 is going to go on Howbeit. I think that this is the spot for him to shine against these top level horses. Again, his speed figures say he belongs in this field, and if he can get a good inside trip right behind Brickyard Ride, and hopefully if all goes well, the rail opens and he comes on through and he wins the Pat O'Brien for Little Red Feather and crew.
All right, that's okay. Salty selection there. Kyle Frey also riding very well here at the current meet. I like that pick a lot. I'm going to go with Flagstaff. I wanted to go Howbeit. I really do like this horse. I'll be rooting for him. I'll use him in a lot of tickets. Same with Ginobili. I don't know how Ginobili's going to handle coming back to 7 furlongs if he's going to be as good. But I think at the end of the day, there is one horse who is dominant at 7 furlongs, and that's Flagstaff. He's just that good. And he's not so good at 6 furlongs. He's not so good going two turns. But when they go 7 furlongs, there's very few horses in the country that can run with them. And I think tomorrow is going to be his day in the Pat O'Brien. Once again, a win and you're in for the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile. Brittany, Larry, this has been a lot of fun. And Larry, I'm going to give you one more chance to say Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile because I know you got to get it in before you commence on.
They're off in the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile.
That is why you join us on the Social Show. Brittany, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you later today on the TVG. All right, Larry Collmus, Brittany Eurton, I'm Mike Joyce. Thank you so much here for joining us on the Social Show. Hopefully we whet your appetite for tomorrow's Pat O'Brien. A win and you're in, I'm going to say it again, for the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.